Redditors, what is the horniest thing you've done and regret doing?
I nutted 40 feet up in the tree to watch it fall.
The nut doesn't fall far from the tree.
Left my own birthday party when I was 13 to shower, masturbate asterisk. Just up and told my friends in the midst of everything that I suddenly needed a shower and left them to fend for themselves in my house.
They 100% thought you shat yourself.
I tried humping my towel rack at home after learning about masturbation in 5th grade. I first tried a Mountain Dew bottle but it wouldn't fit.
When did you discover pies?
After watching the movie American Pie with my parents when it first came out on DVD.
Man. AOL chat rooms, so many nights driving around at 2 a.m. looking for an address, so much pure shame.
Hey, come on in. I left some cookies on the counter, just wait for me in the kitchen, I'll be right out. Hi, there. Who are you? I'm Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC.
Started sleeping with my mother-in-law after her daughter cheated on me.
My brother's telling me that Icy Hot made your DK bigger, so I went to the bathroom and beat my DK, rubbing Icy Hot into teen peen. Was not a smart idea lol.
In basic training I caught a group of guys putting Tiger Balm, like Icy Hot, on the DK and balls. They started yelling, and I kept walking wishing I hadn't seen all that.
Bought an Oculus Rift. Sometimes I get super horny and buy a sex toy online, then I'm not horny anymore and I cancel the order.
Hooked up with an ex. I had just got finished with a long work stint and was super horny times 100. I hit her up, met at her job, went around back and got busy. Got caught on her job's alley cam.
What happened after you guys got caught?
Nothing. The security guy knew it was her because of her uniform, but couldn't see her face. The only that identified her was her tattoo on her hip. He wasn't going to ask to see it. But he let her know that we weren't slick, and a week later the file deleted off the server. I made a DIY pocket pee with a cut-up Sunny D bottle and some microwaved wet paper towels. Gave myself a solid PP burn from that.
Damn bro, that sucks. About how how many seconds would you was much.
Having sex with a girl I met on Tinder who was borderline a hoarder with a weird obsession with How to Train Your Dragon.
Good damn movie though.
My guy, she made me watch all 3 in one night, but you got to clap cheeks in between each movie and a couple times during each, so that was cool I guess lol. January 2020, I had just moved to a large city for a new job. I was unable to secure housing ahead of time, so spent a month couch hopping between a few different apartments of my friends. Because I was staying in friends' living rooms in small apartments, I didn't have anywhere to wank it. I decided one night to check out a 24-per-hour adult theater. I get to this place and there are multiple transient and sketchy-looking people hanging around outside and in the building. The main floor had some sex toys and DVDs, and there were various booths with private screens upstairs. I got to my booth to find empty beer cans, cigarette butts and a grocery bag on the ground. I was hesitant, but lubed up anyways and started cranking it. It couldn't have been 2 minutes into my sesh before someone starts banging on the door to my booth. Open up, I can't find my Tina. I hear a man call. I don't care what kinda nasty poo you watching, I just need my Tina. Tina is meth for those of you who don't spend time in theaters. He sounded like he was getting angry, so I put on my boxers, opened the door and let this homeless dude into the booth with my pee still playing as he rummaged through the grocery bag that was left behind. It was nowhere to be found and I just wanted to blow my load and get the F out of there at this point. Finally he left, and somehow I still had it in me to finish up. The post-nut guilt and clarity I had as I walked through the hallway full of junkies and listened to dozens of moans coming from various booths was insane. I still went back a week later.
Back in the day, pre-internet, also W went to a 24-hour magazine shop, movie theater. 10 minutes in there and cops announce from outside on bullhorn that everyone needs to come out one at a time with their hands up. So much for being discreet. Ultimately end up against wall with 6 other idiot. Cops take their time before leaving. They claim they got a call about the joint being held up. Turns out they did this every few weeks just to hassle the clientele. Convinced my career would be over. Left right away. Also went back week later.
Got a text from a woman I'd been talking to and had hooked up with a few times. This was at around 12 a.m. and she wanted me to come over for some fun. We were both 21YO students at the time, and so she was living in kind of a super sketchy student neighborhood about an hour walk away on the other side of the city. A right-thinking person would have said no, but horny me wanted some action. I didn't have my car at uni at the time, so I threw on my coat and told her I'd be there as soon as I could. Basically jogged there. She knew I didn't know her exact house, so she told me to text her when I got on her street and she'd come and grab me. Arrived. Texted. No reply. She'd gone and fallen asleep. After about 15 minutes of trying to call and text her, I just sent her one saying I guessed she'd fallen asleep and I'd be walking home. Anyway, I mentioned this was a super sketchy neighborhood. On the way home, I got mugged and stabbed in my waist, hip and hand. Luckily, I didn't have my cards or much money on me, so all they got was my favorite wallet and like 15 pounds in cash and my crappy phone that was due for renewal anyway. So yeah, my horniness landed me stranded with 2 knife wounds late at night in an unfamiliar part of the city. Minus my phone and wallet. Fun times.
Similar thing happened to my roommate, but he was drunk and had lost his phone and wallet at a party before walking to the girl's house. When he got mugged down the street from her house, the guy actually felt bad for him and drove him back across the city to our apartment. When he dropped him off, he said, "You're lucky you lost your poo, I was mugging you but then felt like I needed to do my good deed for the day."
One time I ate a stack of blueberry bagels. Edit. Despite the similarities, they lacked the elasticity and resilience of your average balloon knot. We both left that encounter unsatisfied.
Like through the bagel holes.
Well, that's what I tried to do.
Drove down to Arkansas from Canada for a booty call with a guy the first met in a cam chat room, on September 10, 2001.
Good thing you drove.
Oh man, you don't know the half of it. Might as well divulge a little more of the story. I had some time off and some money, so I figured I'd go on a road trip. Might as well incorporate a booty call. Thing is, the guy was getting a booty call visit from another girl from Canada just before I arrived. I knew about her and she knew about me. It was cool, but we had never met on the campsite. I stayed in a hotel on September 10th that was about a 6-hour drive away. His other booty call was scheduled to fly back the next morning. Woke up on the 11th seeing the news. Called and asked if he still wanted me to come. Said yes. I headed down. His other girl got on her flight. When I arrived, she was already gone, but her flight got grounded in, I don't remember. Somewhere a few hours drive away. They were all getting a bus and heading back to Arkansas. She couldn't get back to Vancouver, so she came back to his house. As much as I wish I could say the next day was sexy, it was just hella awkward. I hit the road next day, and by the time I got to the border, they didn't really seem to care too much about a Canadian leaving the States.
Probably effing a tube of beef.
Microwaved? Straight from the fridge? Did you use lube or was the fat inside enough? Did you go lengthwise or did you jam your beef tube into the side of the beef tube? Did your family use it for hamburger night after? I need answers.
Where's the guy that got turned on by cooking noodles and then took the noodles into the shower and F-ed them? Edit. I've been searching for the post but I'm not having any luck. Basically the guy was boiling noodles, and for some reason that made him horny, so he took a handful of noodles into the shower and banged them. It was a really detailed post and I wish I could find it but I'm having no luck.
Or the guy who asked if you can get salmonella poisoning from raw chicken he dropped on his DK accidentally?
When I was in 7th I was going out with a girl to the dance. Since this was my first physical interaction with a woman I creamed my pants while we cuddling. I tried to act normal until I got home.
It was me, Barry. I traveled back in time and jerked you off at super speed, making you think you came at just a woman's touch. Biofreeze lasts even after you wash your hands. FYI.
Drove through the night to finally sleep with a guy I'd been talking to for a couple months. He lived 6 hours away. His wife was effing pissed. Did not know he was married.
Goddamn, I need someone who would drive 6 hours for me in my life.
Dates back to 2004 roughly. Had a nasty split from a girlfriend. Very nasty. Left me in serious debt. One night, as my reward for working 2 jobs, days and nights, to make a dent in the bills I was left with, I text this premium dating service, answer various questions it asks, and get a match. Imagine a crap Tinder, that charges per swipe. We meet, went for a Chinese, she comes back to mine, and it was a great night. Way better than I could have planned, so well that she stays the next night too. Because I'm not thinking with the right head, condoms aren't a thought, I'm getting drained over and over. She's great, until I say I have a shift in the morning. This goes down badly. She doesn't like that I work with mostly women. She doesn't like much where it's not just the two of us only. I go to work, finish the shift, guess who's outside waiting? I know she has issues and we've only met 2 nights ago, but this is sex on tap. After 2 weeks of this repeating, her going into rages when I have to leave, I go to work, calc her and say, look, it's all me, I'm not ready for a relationship, etc. She takes it well, very calmly. I assume all is good. Q weeks of her turning up at random times everywhere. Long story short, I can't take it anymore. I explain to my landlord and my employers, I have to leave and move away. I make arrangements and give notice and pack my life into 2 bags ready to go at 4 a.m. to avoid her seeing me and following. My employer and landlord said, file a police report. I did, it wasn't taken seriously. It took her maybe 2 days to realize I'm gone. I'm getting hundreds of calls and texts every day. I don't answer. Then it stops. All goes quiet. I keep thinking I see her car. Every time the phone makes a noise I think it's her. I'm on edge always. Then I get one text, how do you know I'm not pregnant? I replied, are you? Because I hadn't even considered that. I get no reply. I get no reply ever. I call. I try a few days later, the number you are calling is not in service. Please check the required number and dial again. I don't know what happened. There is no good ending, and I'm fairly certain the surname she gave me wasn't correct. So, this whole thing is my regret.
I had an experience that was a lot like this. Ended with her forcing me to witness her suicide, during which she angrily blamed me. Be glad you're okay and vaguely intact.
I was visiting relatives with my so in Seoul and staying with my aunt. I caught a really bad case of the flu halfway through the trip and we weren't able to smash for weeks at this point. In my half-awake, flu-ridden horny corpse of a shell I vaguely recall crawling, being dragged by my so into my aunt's bathroom in the middle of the night so she could blow me while my aunt was asleep in the living room. Amazingly my GF never caught the flu. We still think about it every now and then and cringe.
I feel like sex while you're sick with the flu is a milestone for relationships.
Got with this girl I heard was just unpredictable, in all aspects. Great sex, weird in regular settings but again great sex. She got mad my sister came over to babysit my dogs and stabbed me in the shoulder with a fork.
Poo went from 0 to 100 real effing quick.
When I was like 14 I F'd my couch once.
Somehow this doesn't sound as bad as your name, so quit holding out on us.
Well, the one I regret the most was attempting to use some facial lotion as lube, which left with a burning sensation all over my groin area. It was so painful I jumped straight out of bed and ran into the bathroom to wash my DK and balls in cold water. Never again. I'll just stick to dry wanking in future.
You probably just saved me from a lot of pain, LMAO.
Yeah, just don't do it, haha. There's a million better options, but me being my stupid self just grabbed the first tube of liquid I saw and got busy, only to end up feeling like I'd just rubbed hot sauce all over penis. I would have been better off using sandpaper. I'm a woman who can have multiple O's. I came too many times in a row once. I think it was like 4 in a 10-minute span, which is pretty intense for me. Pulled a muscle in my neck and ended up on a doctor-prescribed NSAID regimen around the clock for a few weeks. Sex after 35, man.
Once read a Reddit post from this guy who used hand sanitizer to jerk off. Hope he took our advice to see a doctor.
Or that one post where dude made a clay fleshlight somehow and his dad brought his friends from work over to use the toilet where the clay fleshlight was.
Got off using my heel sitting in my office chair. I wouldn't normally regret it, but at one point I'm almost positive my coworker knew what I was doing. Woman facepalming, light skin tone.
Got married when I was 18. 0 tenths. Do not recommend.
In hot tub with girlfriend. She's on my lap and I'm nuts deep in her, swimsuit still on. Her mum comes out for a chat and I nut into my girlfriend while looking her mum in the eye.
There's a story similar to this from many years ago where some dude was having sex in the spooning position under some blankets with his girl. Then his mum enters his room to ask him something, he nuts while looking his mum in the eye to answer her question. He kept his poker face on though, so from his mum's point of view, she just walked in him and his girl cuddling under some blankets.
Baiting while driving.
I tried that once on a long drive to Colorado, to see this girl I had met on a previous trip there a month earlier, who I was very much looking forward to effing. It was dark and I was bored, but I didn't finish. I eventually stopped for a nap at a rest stop, but when I woke up I was still horny. So I finished the job in the parking lot. I was right next to a dumpster and I figured that aside from being super classy, that nobody was gonna park next to the dumpster. I poo you not. As soon as I finished, I heard a man screaming, "You F-er. I caught you." I swear my soul left my body and I rushed to put my unit away. Suddenly a truck pulled up and there were 3 guys outside my car shouting. I was like, gee, I am gonna be put on a list or something. It took me a minute to realize that they were yelling at each other. Turns out the guy in the truck was constantly dumping poo in the dumpster and 2 other guys were maintenance staff who had been trying to catch him. None of them noticed what I did, and did not pay attention to me as I left. I have nearly died before, and yet that was the scariest thing that had ever happened to me. Edit. So apparently my 2 highest rated comments on Reddit are somewhat embarrassing sexual stories where I didn't actually get laid. I was working at a movie theater when I was 16. I can't remember the movie, but it had an awesome nude scene. So on a weekday I was an opening usher. No one usually came in until the evening. I went in the first screening of said movie and stood there with my broom in one hand and DK in the other. I busted a nut in the middle of the theater and then tried to use my broom to sweep it up. I was so dumb. Edit. It was 300. Thanks you, Necreca, for jogging my memory lol. Also, how did you know what years to look through? Edit 2. I just told my wife this story and she is baffled that I would just stand there instead of sitting in a seat. But we weren't allowed to sit down on the job. Last edit. I was making a joke about not sitting down lol. But I'm loving the comments. Keep them coming. Love you all. Good night.
Greater than no one usually came. But that night was different.
I'd watch pee on the computers in the comp lab in my department. Once aroused I would go to the bathroom and jerk off. One time I heard someone come in as I was climaxing. They may have not.
Not me, but a friend didn't have lotion, decided to use laundry detergent to jerk it. He ended up in the hospital.
On Omegle doing Omegle things. Come across this really hot chick. She was already half naked from the waist down. I'm assuming she was in another chat with another guy and he busted and got off. At this point in time, I was just chilling. Just talking to random people and having a few laughs. But this chick comes on and I'm like, F it. She tells me she wants to see my DK and watch me jerk. I politely oblige, and after a few minutes of us dirty talking and watching each other masturbate, she asks me what kind of toothpaste I have. Colgate Optic White. Why? Go get it and jerk off with it. I think it's hot as F. Sure. As soon as I start rubbing it in and get my DK lathered with the toothpaste, she starts laughing and disconnects. Within a few seconds, I realized what was going on. She was going from chat to chat convincing guys to do this and then leaving them with not only blue balls, but a burning cock as well. Edit. Welp, now I have to live with the fact that my most upvoted comment of all time is a story about how I got tricked into rubbing toothpaste on my DK.
9 out of 10 dentists agree, that's super F-ed up.
I put a whole thing of jelly beans up my ass.
F-ed a woman with an artificial heart valve. It made fast clicking noises when she was getting close.
Actually quite interesting.
I got a bit of cum on my math homework on accident but didn't feel like redoing it, so I just turned it in.
Dude, why were you masturbating to your maths homework?
Masturbated in he lofted projection booth at the church I grew up at, during service, and where my father was a full-time minister. I was probably 14-ish, and as many boys that age would experience random erections. I would sit by myself in he booth and turn the slides during the hymns. Well, this one fateful day I had a hard-on that wouldn't go away and there was a break in the music, so I decided to take care of my, situation. As I was doing so, one of the deacons opened the door behind me, to deliver communion. He had the blood of Christ in one hand and the body in the other. I had something in my hand too. He left as fast as he could, as did my erection.
At least he left?
Dated this kinda crazy girl a while ago. Not crazy, but she was something else in the sheets. This one time, I was invited to this opera concert thing, very fancy night, and so I asked her to come with. We got a private balcony space for ourselves with an amazing view. Mid-concert we started to F around a little bit. Handjob, fingering, blowjob, touching, etc. etc. Then we got so horny we F'd for real. And so, we tried to synchronize her cheeks clapping and the moaning to the instruments and to the rhythm of the music. That didn't work. We got kicked out and banned for 2 years from the place, called the police on us, got fined etc. Lol was fun though, but it's an asshole thing to do, it sucked for the artists. I cringe sometimes when I think about it.
Used to get a massage a week from this tall Russian broad. Very good looking, super flirty, thick accent, the whole 9 yards. One day she's laying it on thick and I'm doing my best to keep the little drummer boy at bay. She finishes, hands me a towel to wipe the oil off of me and leaves. I proceed to lay the towel out, and then beat my meat like it owed me money. Finished and then put that towel at the bottom of the garbage pail in the room. Immediate post-nut clarity had me thinking about cameras in the rooms. Did a quick scan, checked a few weird statues and then said, F it, what's done is done. Left. Never heard anything of it and continued to get massages for about a year before insurance stopped paying for them.
Insurance paid for your massages. Tell me more.
The chiropractor billed it as a procedure for back problems. Started out getting 2 a week, then 1 as I got better. Insurance eventually said no, you have to charge co-pays, and I was like, well poo, I'm not paying $10 a week. Thinking back, it was still hour-long massages for $10. What an idiot.
Sarah.
As a Sarah I get it.
Met a random woman online, went to her office, ate her out, left. Never got her name.
Dine and dash.
My username says it all. My tongue regrets that day.
Wait, did you perform oral on a clown?
Change the word on to as.
Typical Romeo and Juliet balcony scene, but the girl I was courting wanted me to insert her front door doorknob in my ass so she could touch my ass in the morning. As I was about to wrap my butt cheeks around her front door's doorknob, her father comes out and sees me flashing him.
How did she bring this up in conversation? Babe, I love that ass. Can you stick my doorknob up that thing so I can get a stinky salutation in the morning?
Actually, you're not far off. I don't remember the exact phrasing since that was almost 14 years ago, but something along those lines.
A friend knew this girl was crazy when he met her out, but he said he was horny and she was attractive, went to her house and did the deed. The one-night stand resulted in her being pregnant. He moved in with her to help with baby. Then moved out and tried to do 50-50 custody because she wanted to be in a sexual relationship with him and was still crazy. She moves 2 hours away, so he just moved up to that area to be around his child. One day he gets a call from the police saying that she had been taken to a mental institutional and for him to pick his kid up from daycare. She now visits the baby once a week with supervision. This all happened in the span of 1 year, all because he was super horny. Edit. There's a large amount of comments saying, I'm lucky to be gay. More than I thought.
Jesus.
For some reason my extremely horny 14-year-old self thought that it would be very hot shoving a very big soup bar up my ass while in the shower. It did not fit. It hurt. I was not horny anymore and my ass stung for the next couple of days. Would not recommend. I am a heterosexual male BTWIDK. Why I did this.
Greater than I am a heterosexual male BTWIDK. Why I did this. Because you don't have to be gay to like butt stuff.
When I was 19 and a freshman at NDSU, I drove all the way across Minnesota, Fargo to Duluth, in an absolute blizzard because this hot girl who was a waitress at the bar where I was a bar cook in the summer wanted to go clubbing. I only went in the ditch once, got pulled out by some dude with a Dodge Ram for free, and it only took 6 hours for a trip that should have taken 4. But it was worth it because we went clubbing and I got laid.
Slept with horse girl. More negatives than positives. Edit. Pun as requested.
Stable relationship.
The whipped cream incident of 1999.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.